Hey! Okay.
Hey, yeah. Hey, down here. Cool that you made it down to this little nook of the exhibit. It's kind of a quiet space where you can actually get a little deeper into the harbor seal world.
I'm Jenny Montague. I'm the Assistant Curator of Marine Mammals. I think the best view, and I don't think people do this very often unless they're taking the whale watch, is to go all the way to the left-hand side of the exhibit and down the steps, and that's where our biggest viewing window is, and it's 11 feet deep there, and you can get a view of the seals just doing their full run of the exhibit. Gives you a very different perspective than it does from looking in the front. Smoke, Lana, Trumpet, Amelia, Cayenne, Reggae, Chakotah.
Those are the names of the 7 Atlantic harbor seals in this exhibit. And there's also a 17-pound lobster, who you might catch if you look through those rocks on the left side of this window. But if you really want to identify the seals, you should look at their undersides.
In the harbor seal exhibit, there are 2 specific families. Smoke is the matriarch of one, Trumpet of the other. The main difference that you see is in their hair color or their fur patterns. Smoke's family just has cream-colored or one-colored, single-colored bellies, and Trumpet's family all have very distinct black spots on their underside.
Like that one. And look, he's showing off his spots. And more spots. Those are all Trumpet's kids. And there's some of Smoke's family. I love how they all like racing up and down. There's a way you can get in on the action too, though.
They're a lot like cats in that they really like to track things, you know. We've actually played with different lights in the exhibit. She seems to like to follow light-colored things. Sometimes kids will come out with plush seals, you know, little white seals, and she'll follow them in a circle, or she'll race along the exhibit and chase them down. If you think about how seals catch fish and they move quickly and their heads move and they're trying to track the, you know, which way the fish is going, that's probably what gets them interested in following something that's moving quickly.
See if you can get some tracking game going with the seals. You might need some more room, but please don't tap on the glass or yell at the seals. Speaking of yelling.
Think Tank!
Hi, my name is Katie, and I'm a teen intern here at the aquarium. Isn't this the tank where you guys had the talking seal? And what kinds of things did he say? Yes, this is the tank where we had a talking seal. His name was Hoover. Now, most seals make some kind of vocalization, but Hoover's was different. His vocalizations started to sound like words. At first, it started out with simple words like, hey. Then it progressed to, hey you, and how are you? It was really cool. And now, Hoover's grandson, Chakotah, lives in this exhibit.
Yep, it's true. Hoover's grandson, Chakotah, is learning to talk. Let's go backstage for a second and see how it works.
Hey, Chuck, listen. How are you?
With Chakotah, we tried to see if maybe it would be easier for him if we didn't focus so much on the particular sound as the rhythm.
How are you? How are you? Okay.
And throw some patterns together. So his how are you, he didn't learn how are you, he learned how are you, how are you. And what we're finding is his enunciation is not quite as good as it is with the individual words.
Chakotah is getting there, but Granddaddy Hoover was light years ahead with the talking. His speaking just kind of kicked in one day, and supposedly he learned how to talk from passers-by. If you listen closely, you'll even hear how he learned a Boston accent, dropping his R's and sporting attitude.
Hey!
This training is really to stimulate the animals and improve their mental health. They like the challenge. It's both mimicry and associating sounds with hand signals. The seals also have their own toys, which you may see in and around the tank. Reggae has a black tire, Cayenne has a white ball on the end of a red stick, and Chakotah has a piece of blue Tupperware. Other training helps with hygiene. For example, the seals learn to open their mouths for toothbrushing and open their eyes for eye drops. And some training is just for fun. You can see the harbor seal and sea lion training sessions live. Check the aquarium schedule for training times. But some of the best behaviors the seals do are their natural habits, like that imitation of a buoy. It's called bottling.
Bottling is the seals, you know, kind of like a Coke bottle would float in the ocean. And that's when the seals just are vertical in the water with their head up above the surface and they're breathing there. They swim upside down a lot of the time. You know, we used to think that it was because their eyes are close to the top of the head and it gave them a better field of view, but that doesn't make as much sense as I thought it did at one point, because they'll do that even when they're swimming low in the water column.
Look at those upside-down swimmers. Can you make any sense of it?
Something else you might see would be the seals sleeping on the bottom of the exhibit, and they oftentimes will lay flat on their back and just kind of bob and roll as the other seals swim by, and we've had more than a few people that thought the seals were dead.
Well, these guys are very much alive, loving their water life, training, and fish diet. It's enough to make some other animals jealous.